He's family-friendly, work-friendly, and just an overall great guy. He's not afraid to speak his mind and will provide you with that extra burst to make it through your workday.
Welcome to the afternoon show with Taylor King on the X, Real Rock Variety.
It's the afternoon show vlog. My name is Taylor King. Welcome to the first one after the afternoon show for September 27th, 2010. Wow, this should be fun, because you actually get to see what I look like day in and day out. What type of shirt I'm wearing, what the studio looks like day after day. This should be a lot of fun. All right, let's get to the Day in Rock report here in just a little bit as soon as this music bed runs out, as we only have a 15-minute limit here on YouTube, and I know that I can't go over that because I have no money to pay for an extra account, so, okay, here we go.
Keeping you up to date on what your favorite or maybe not so favorite artists are doing, it's the Day in Rock report.
Do it live!
With Taylor King on the X.
Take it away.
Today's quick roundup of the top rock news stories from across the web from antimusic.com. Bret Michaels appears nude on the cover of the newest issue of Billboard magazine, which includes a feature article on Bret called Maximum Exposure. In more serious news, Michaels is scheduled to undergo more surgery come January, this time to close up a small hole in his heart. AOL Health has an in-depth article describing what exactly is wrong with the Poison frontman. Kiss found headlining festivals a tough gig in Fontana, California on Saturday, September 25th, when they realized their plans to rock on past midnight would not be possible. A strict 11 p.m. curfew made them rethink their set list and limited them to an 80-minute performance. Disappointed, Stanley told fans, "We were going to rock you for 2.5 hours, but we were told we can't. They told us we've got a curfew." There might actually be a TV channel that shows music videos again, and we can thank MTV for it. Billboard reports that the bad blood between online music video upstart Vivo and stalwart MTV may reach new levels, as Vivo reportedly is planning to launch a TV network for its content as well. Linkin Park makes its customary #1 start on Billboard's European Albums chart, arriving at the top with 1,000 Suns. Slash tells Classic Rock Revisited that he is going back to LA next month and working with Duff McKagan, Matt Sorum, and Dave Kushner, and working with a couple of new singers to see how they turn out. There's no effort being made to have Miles join Velvet Revolver. He also talks about considering having Axl Rose sing on his solo album. Metallica guitarist Kirk Hammett says, "We all have tons of music that is just lying around. There's never any shortage of ideas." Black Country Communion, the band featuring vocalist bassist Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, and Trapeze, drummer Jason Bonham from Led Zeppelin, Derek Sherinian from Dream Theater, and blues rock guitarist Joe Bonamassa has entered the official UK charts at number 13. And Robert Plant's new solo album, Band of Joy, which entered the U.S. Billboard charts at number 5 this past week, will be released on double vinyl in the U.S. and Canada on October 25th by Rounder Universal Music. All right, in this vlog, we're just going to move through pretty much everything that was talked about on the afternoon show each afternoon. And so we're just going to move through them as quickly as we can. 15-minute limit, of course, for YouTube. So here we go with this day in rock and roll history. Born on this day, Randy Bachman from the Guess Who and Bachman Turner Overdrive is 67. Meatloaf is 63. Greg Ham from Men at Work is 57. And Brad Arnold from Three Doors Down is 32. Well, what happened on this day? Well, in 1964, the Beach Boys made their TV debut on The Ed Sullivan Show on US TV, where they performed I Get Around and Wendy. In 1967, working on new songs, the Beatles recorded various parts for the new John Lennon song I Am the Walrus and the new Paul McCartney song Fool on the Hill. In 1968, Pink Floyd appeared at the Queen's Hall in Dunoon, Scotland. In 1971, Led Zeppelin appeared at the Shei Taikuken Hall in Hiroshima, Japan. In 1972, Rory Storm, singer from UK 60s group Rory Storm and the Hurricanes, died age 32 after taking an overdose of sleeping pills in a suicide pact with his mother. Ringo Starr played drums with Storm before joining the Beatles. In 1978, Eric Clapton sponsored a West Bromwich Albion UEFA Cup tie against Galatasaray of Turkey. After the game, Eric presented each player with a gold copy of his latest album, Slow Hand. In 1980, David Bowie scored his 4th UK #1 album with Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. In 1986, Metallica bass player Cliff Burton was crushed to death after the band's tour bus crashed between Stockholm and Copenhagen. During a European tour, members from the band drew cards for the most comfortable bunk on the tour bus. Burton had won the game with an ace of spades and was asleep when the tour bus ran over a patch of black ice and skidded off the road. He was thrown through the window of the bus, which fell on top of him. In 1986, the Beatles' Twist and Shout re-entered the U.S. singles chart over 25 years after it first appeared, after the song was featured in the film Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And in 1990, Dee Ramone of the Ramones was arrested for possessing marijuana during a drug bust in New York's Greenwich Village. And that is this day in rock and roll history for September 27th, 2010. As we move on now to sports. This is where it gets fun. The results of the past weekend's National Football League games: the Kansas City Chiefs over the San Francisco 49ers 31-10. The Minnesota Vikings over the Detroit Lions 24-10. The New England Patriots over the Buffalo Bills 38-30. The Atlanta Falcons over the New Orleans Saints in overtime 27-24. The Tennessee Titans over the New York Giants 29-10. It was the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 38-13. The Cincinnati Bengals over the Carolina Panthers 20-7. Baltimore Ravens over the Cleveland Browns 24-17. Dallas Cowboys over the Houston Texans 27-13. The St. Louis Rams over the Washington Redskins 30-16. The Philadelphia Eagles over the Jacksonville Jaguars 28-3. The Indianapolis Colts 27-13 over the Denver Broncos. The Arizona Cardinals over the Oakland Raiders 24-23. The Seattle Seahawks over the San Diego Chargers 27-20. And the New York Jets in Sunday Night Football, a game that went down to the wire and was a very, very interesting game, 31-23. And tonight's Monday Night Football game on ESPN, the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. American golfer Jim Furyk was the winner of the Tour Championship by one shot yesterday at the East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta with an 8-under total of 272. The win also earned him the FedEx Cup for being tops in the season-long points race and the $10 million bonus that goes with it. Finally, the Tour victory gave Furyk, who's ranked number 6 in the world, 3 tournament wins in a single PGA Tour season for the first time in his career. And the Philadelphia Phillies yesterday became the first National League team to clinch a playoff spot. Although the two-time NL defending champions lost 7-3 to the New York Mets, they were assured at least a wild-card berth when the San Diego Padres lost to the Cincinnati Reds. The Texas Rangers and Minnesota Twins, both in the American League, are the only other teams that have clinched playoff spots so far. And that is sports. As we move on to Celebrity Sleaze. And Greg Giraldo was reportedly hospitalized after overdosing on prescription pills over the weekend. TMZ.com reports that the comedian was taken to a hospital in New Brunswick, New Jersey, after a friend found him. Sources claim the overdose was not a suicide attempt. As of Sunday, he was in critical but stable condition. Heather Locklear is getting rid of all traces of her marriage to Richie Sambora. The actress, who divorced the rocker in 2007 after 12 years of marriage, just got around to filing papers so that her name will legally be changed back to Locklear from Sambora. TMZ reports that on official documents her name was still listed as Heather Dean Sambora. She reportedly wants her request to be granted before she applies for a new passport ahead of a planned trip abroad next month. And Gael Garcia Bernal is going to be a dad again. The actor confirmed on Twitter that he and girlfriend Dolores Fonzi are expecting their second child together.